Here's a server that uses a language model, but it holds no API keys. None. So whose model is it running? Start simple. In the model context protocol, two parts talk, a client, which is your app, and a server, which offers tunes. Normally the client does the calling. It reaches out to the server and asks for things. And the model? The client owns it. The client has the API keys, picks which model to run, and pays the bill. The server, on its own, has none of that. So here's the bind. A server wants to use AI to summarize something or reason about a result, but it holds no keys and no model. And shipping keys inside every server would be a mess and a security risk. Sampling's answer is to flip the direction. Instead of the client calling down, the server sends a request up asking the client, the one who already owns a model, to run a completion on its behalf. That request is a synced-in call, createMessage, and it travels a fixed loop. The server sends it. The client reviews it, runs its model, reviews the answer, and hands the result back down. This only works if the client agreed to it upfront. When the two connect, the client declares one thing: I support sampling. No declaration, no borrowing. Let's follow one real request. The server wants to ask a plain question: what is the capital of France? It packs that into a sampling request and sends it up. One field is mandatory. The server sets a hard cap on how many tokens the answer may use, and the client must honor it. That's the server's spending guardrail. Now, which model runs it? The server can't just name one. Client and server might use totally different providers. So instead of a name, it sends preferences, 3 dials from 0 to 1 for cost, speed, and intelligence. It can also drop hints like the word sonnet or just Claude. But hints are only substring guesses, tried in order, and purely advisory. The client makes the final pick and may map your sonnet hint to a completely different model from another vendor. What's actually inside the request? A list of messages. Each one is tagged as either user or assistant, and each carries content, text, or an image, or even audio. There's more the server can suggest: a system prompt, a temperature, some stop sequences. But notice the word suggest. The client may treat these or ignore them entirely if its own model doesn't fit. The server can also ask the client to fold in extra context: none, or this server's, or every server's. Ask being the keyword. The client may refuse to keep sensitive data away from the server. And here's the part the spec leans on hardest. Because the server is borrowing your model, there should be a human in the loop. You get to see the prompt, edit it, see the response, and reject the whole thing. Say you approve. The client runs the model and returns a result. It tells the server the role, the content of the answer, the capital of France is Paris, and importantly, which model actually generated it. It also says why the model stopped. Maybe it finished its turn. Maybe it hit your token cap. Maybe it hit a stop sequence you set, or maybe it wants to call a tool. And if it said no back at the review step, the client simply returns an error: user rejected the sampling request. The server never touches your model. That tool hint points at where this was going. A newer draft lets the server attach its own tools to the request. The model can ask to use one, the server runs it, and the loop continues, a full agent running on your model. One honest catch. As of the 2026 spec, sampling is deprecated. It stays in for at least a year, but new builds shouldn't adopt it. They are pointed at calling modern provider APIs directly instead. So, a keyless server borrows your model. By sending one request up, you review it and pick and can reject, and the answer comes back down. The server never held the key. You did.